Celebrate the launch of the Raghly Trail here tonight. Before I begin, I'd just like to thank the last Cathaoirleach of Sligo County Council, Councillor Tom Fox, who's going to say a few words. I'll do some of the emceeing. We're also going to invite our special guest here tonight, Father Michael Donnelly, who served for many years as the parish priest in the area, and then we'll ask Desi Caraway to, on behalf of Maugherow Community Development Company, to say a couple of focal on behalf of the community. So you're all very welcome. I'd just like to acknowledge the councillors who joined us here this evening. We have Councillor Rosie O'Grady, who has great connections to the area. We have Councillor Thomas Healy, who has joined us. Councillor Marie Castley is here, and also there's another councillor. So without further ado, last guy here, that Councillor Tom Fox. Sorry, I should just say one thing. Apologies on behalf of the Cathaoirleach, Councillor Gerard Malani, who was unable to join us and has been deputised by the Councillor Fox here tonight. So appreciation.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. And I'd like to welcome you all here tonight, this evening, to this wonderful place here in Raghly, and it's great to see such a large turnout, to see so many people who live in the locality. And look, it's an area of outstanding natural beauty, and it's an area that I love to visit and come here regularly myself and do the actual walk with my wife. And it's a place that we truly do enjoy. So I'll say a few words. I'm here on behalf, as Michael has said already, I'm here on behalf of the Cathaoirleach of Sligo County Council, Gerard Malani. My name is Tom Fox. I'm a member of Sligo County Council myself, and I'm last Cathaoirleach of Sligo County Council. So it's a privilege for me to be here this evening to address you all and to officially launch the opening of the Raghly Trail. So look at fellow councillors, Councillor Marie Castley, Councillor Thomas Healy, members of the community, the special guest Father Michael Donnelly, friends and local community and beyond. You were all very welcome here again. On the outset, I can thank you for the kind invitation to join you at this evening's launch of this wonderful new walking trail. And I would like to thank particularly Father Michael Donnelly, who has served the congregation here in Maugherow for over many years, and for his participation in this evening's event. It is greatly appreciated on behalf of the community. I'd also like to mention Father Tom Heaver, who I think he's absent. I haven't seen him here earlier on, so I'd like to acknowledge all of his great participation and his involvement here in the parish, in his current, also his steadfast in his support for the parish. The project is a testament of the hard-working local community, who have taken great credit as they can see their years of planning and preparation have come to fruition today. This is and continues to be a wonderful resource, both for local people and the many people who will come to enjoy the majestic scenery along the trail, as you can see here around it. While the project was inspired and driven by local community, I want to acknowledge the support of the Department of Rural and Community Development, who alongside Sligo County Council and the Maugherow Community Development Company, who brought the project into being. A very special word of thanks to the local landowners, who very kindly gave the permission to the trail to go ahead on their land. You know, that's a very important, you know, it's great to and also to those who supported the research and provided the content with which accompanies the map board signage, which you see on the trail. Very interesting and very helpful signage situated along the trail, which adds to the overall trail experience. Constructed by a local contractor, Eddie Waters, fair play to him, done a great job. I don't know if Eddie is here. Is he in the background? No. Well done to all involved in this team. And I'd like to take this opportunity to extend a particular thanks to Enda and his team. It was constructed in a time of COVID, where it provided a much needed local release during those difficult times. And you know, it was very it was very helpful to the community, to us all indeed. We could come here and get out and about. Following the easing of restrictions, its popularity has been enjoyed by many visitors and locals alike, who are keen to come and experience the newly achieved access and expanse of breathtaking views from this beautiful stretch of coastline of County Sligo. And we truly have a wonderful county here. It has been a very welcome development in recent years that people of all ages are encouraged to adapt a healthy and active lifestyle. And local authorities and local communities have worked in partnership to provide amenities and recreational areas all over the country, all over the county, should I say, and the country. Sligo has excelled in this area, and we have some of the finest recreational sites in the country, if not in Europe. And you know, it's a great achievement by Sligo County Council and the council officials, and I'd like to acknowledge their efforts too, and their hard work, and well done to all involved. So this is a special day for the local community, and I will conclude now. So I'll hand over to Father Donnelly here, and thank you all, thanking all who were involved and who worked so hard to make it a reality. Well done, and thanks for the opportunity.
I'm very happy to be here and to thank Des and the committee here for inviting me to this lovely celebration of the new loop trail here in Raghly. And I'm just wondering why Des asked me to come, and I now realise he wanted me to pray for the good weather. And so far it's working, and I was rushing him there while I go, make sure you have this over before the rain comes, or my reputation will be ruined. Anyway, it's great to be back, and as I said the other day, I was at Mass in Maugherow. It was great to be feeling that home feeling, and I appreciate that very much. I'd like just to congratulate the local committee for what they've done with regards to planning that trail. I walked it about a month ago, and of course the Sligo County Council, represented by Tom here, and also by their architect, their engineer, Michael Carty. And it's to congratulate you on what you have achieved. I was very lucky in my life. I have spent half my life in Sligo. I'm not going to tell you the number of years because then you know my age. But I went to Summerhill College, as you know, and I was between the cathedral and Maugherow and Drumcliff. I have worked in this part of the country for 37 years. And 9 of those years I was here in Maugherow, and it was beautiful because we had such scenery, and Thomas has referred to there. You know, you begin there with the whole parish was surrounded by water, really. There used to be a song when I was a young fella that used to say, "Thank God we're surrounded by water." We were surrounded by water because you started Lissadell, and you moved to Raghly here, over to Ballyconnell, down to Sligo, and all that here is lovely. Everywhere you go, you had a lovely coastline and beautiful scenery. I'm delighted recently to see RT are advertising Sligo, and they're putting it on as part of the weather forecast. And I think it's ironic because they probably say things like, there's low pressure coming up the south and it's going to be going across Sligo and Donegal. And then they say, please come and discover Sligo. So they want us to come here in the rain. But anyway, they were referring to the beauty of Sligo and all of that. I was actually going out there recently to visit. I went up the other entrance, and as you come over the brow of the hill here, you come across the Atlantic Ocean. And I was reminded of when I was at Summerhill, we did Greek, and part of the programme for the Leaving Cert was in the Greek book was the wars that the Greeks had with the Persians. And there was a famous leader of the Greek army, and they were lost coming across modern-day Turkey and Syria, and they didn't know where they were trying to get home. And they came up at the brow of this hill and they came across this big, big sea. It was the Black Sea. And he shouted, "Thalasse, Thalasse," which means the sea, the sea. So when you go around that corner, I want you to say, "Thalasse, Thalasse." And you say, what's that? It's Greek. And everybody will be impressed. But it is a beautiful scenery, because the day I was up there, like it is now, the whole Atlantic Ocean was like a billiard table. And if you look back towards your left, you see Ross's Point and Strand Hill, and out across the ocean and across the far side, you see the Ox Mountains, and then over to your right, the big Atlantic Ocean, and if you were tall enough, you'd see Boston. If you're not that tall, you'll see Killybegs. So it was a fantastic panoramic view, and it's really, that's what you will see. Then I came around the corner, and I was told there was a place, little pool up there, they call it the Punch Bowl. Well, I have visions of the Punch Bowl, because when I was in Summerhill, it was a pub in Sligo, and we're told not to go near it. So anyway, the Punch Bowl is called. It's very, very beautiful. So I don't want to finish on a negative tone, but because it's a very positive evening, and once again, congratulations to this wonderful crowd of people here. It's great to see you all again, and I really, really appreciate the honour of coming here this evening. But I do think that I would like to say to the engineer and the county councillors, that in the future you might have a little bit of this walk taken away with erosion, because it's very strong here, and you're out in the promontory here, and you nearly would want to do something like they've done in Salt Hill, where they've got all these big boulders and prevent the sea from taking over the land. So that's only a warning, and I won't be around in 10 or 15 years' time. You all will be, and you say, oh, remember the night we opened the thing, he told us it's going to happen. Anyway, that's only just beside the point. Hopefully, please God, it won't, and we thank all those who are doing the occasion for us tonight as well. And once again, congratulations to Michael and the County Council and the engineers for wonderful job in our county, and the local community working together hand in hand. And that will be very close to my heart, and it's great to see it reaching fruition, this lovely walk here tonight. So I wish you all well.
Well done.
As alluded to some of the thanks and there are so many people to thank here, but it's beautiful to hear your kind words and the sound of the seashore lapping in the background, and when you realise you're in a beautiful part of the world. And this trail was developed with the support of the community, and it's the community who enjoy using the trail, and you meet your neighbours on the trail, and it's the community who look out for each other in this area. And Sligo County Council engaged with the Maugherow Community Development Company with a view to achieving this. And again, I just want to reiterate what was said in relation to the appreciation I feel and that I received in securing the support of the landowners. So that's deeply appreciated on behalf of the County Council. Unfortunately, Enda Waters, his mother-in-law, there was a bereavement, and Enda is not able to be here with us this evening. But so we convey our sympathies and accept the apologies on behalf of Enda for not being here tonight. Equally, the Chief Executive of Sligo County Council, Martin Lydon, wasn't able to be here, but he asked for his apologies to be accepted. We've been joined since by Councillor Donald Gilroy. So I knew there was another one. No, it's in there in the clock. But so I want to invite Desi to come forward and say a few words on behalf of the community.
Anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Desi Carway, and the owner. I think possibly some people might know me. I suppose I was thinking about this, about the opening and about everybody coming here, and the formalities and the thank yous on the note. But what I haven't got on the note is probably a little bit from the heart. You know, when your mind goes back, Kathleen, there, and you go back to years ago, it was a time when you had to be in the field and you had to be working, and you were competing with the Welshes or the Cartys or the Leightons, and it was competitive work, it was farming work, and it was very laborious, and you know, you had to be diligent as well, and you were very proud of your work. And I suppose farming has changed and people are changing and they're exploring the great outdoors. And when this idea evolved or came around, and there was numerous walks taking place in the country, and I was initially approached, I thought to myself, are people gone mad? You know, what do they mean out walking in the landscape and the beauty? Isn't it all around them? Do they not see it? And you know, could they not just, I suppose, get on with their lives? And then you're thinking, well, maybe I've got to change as well. And maybe I had to change, but that change was hard for me. And I suppose it was hard, probably, nothing is without a challenge. it was hard to maybe convince people who were a bit nervous about that change to bring them with you on that journey, on this road, on this path of a journey where we didn't know where it would lead us. And even though it's simple and elegant and spectacular, a lot of things go through your mind. And believe it or not, the first census recorded here was 126 people. This morning at 5 o'clock I counted 26 permanent residents here, 14 landowners. So when I counted 126 on the first census, we had one landowner in here at the time of the, I suppose, the estates. So Raghly has changed a lot. So I suppose it's good to have brought something to fruition that everybody can enjoy. And I suppose I sincerely want to thank a number of people, and I made a note of it in case I can probably retain a lot of information, but I definitely don't want to leave anybody out, and I won't keep you out in the rain. But that's where I'm coming from. I suppose I'm coming from a time of I seen the trasher and the binder working together. In a way, the binder brought people together as a community because they had to work together. In a way, now we're binding the community again in a different sort of a sphere, and you're binding them on a common theme, on a common, I suppose, whether it's good for your mental health or your physical health, it's certainly good for something, and it's good for keeping people together, and I suppose that's what community is. To the official opening of the Raghly Look, welcome, I suppose to Father Michael, Tom, the last Maugherow, and the county staff, county council staff and officials. On behalf of the Maugherow Community Development Company Limited, I would like a sincere thanks to Michael Carty, who coordinated this amazing trail. The works would not have been possible without the consent and cooperation. We won't call them landowners because I suppose they're still farmers, and I will mention them by name, even though I possibly may leave someone out, but I doubt it. So I'll mention Linda Waters, of course, Colin Hurty, John Welch, Paddy and Fergus Hoare. I want also, not to neglect anybody, to thank the residents of Raghly and the wider community who don't have possibly own land here, but who were patient and cooperative throughout. Furthermore, I wish to thank Annie West for her masterful artistry of Raghly, Martina Butler for her beautiful signage, her research and photos, many of which were provided by Darrell Ewan, Peter DeVee and Michael Bell. In preparation for the evening, I wish to thank Paddy Loughlin and County Council staff who really helped get ready for this evening, cutting nettles, weeds and general maintenance. Thanks to Bertie Lane for cutting the grass that we're standing on right now. Thanks to the good neighbours and friends who provided food and helped with teas and coffees. Thanks to all the people who continue to pick up the dog litter and other sorts of litter. A special word of thanks to the directors of Maugherow Community Development, my own wife of course, Mary Carway, and JP Donlan, and the paperwork sometimes can be challenging, but they got through it, who helped facilitate the application. Finally, to say who was last shall be first. On a personal level, I want to especially thank Father Michael Donnelly, who was more than helpful and supportive in the initial stages of the project. We would not have done it without his help, when it all began out at the Shanty Lane, and I think many people know that story. Please put your hands together again if you don't mind, in appreciation for his help and support. Although retired, he continues to be with us.
My prayers are over.
You timed it well.
Guys.